President Biden delivered his third State of the Union speech tonight, and he referred to Texas a number of times. He discussed border security, he called for more gun restrictions, and he called for reproductive rights as well. Political reporter Jack Fink here to take us through everything that unfolded this evening. Jack?
Well, Doug, President Joe Biden went after his predecessor, Donald Trump, and Republicans on a variety of issues, including border security. At one point, he mocked Republicans after they blocked a bipartisan bill from the Senate that would have added border agents and reformed asylum laws. But Republicans said it would still allow too many migrants into the U.S. before the president could shut the border down.
Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now. And if my predecessor is watching, instead of paying politics and pressuring members of Congress to block the bill, join me in telling the Congress to pass it.
During his speech, the president criticized the overturning of Roe v. Wade and states like Texas that have banned most abortions without making exceptions for rape and incest. He referenced Kate Cox of Dallas, who had a troubled pregnancy but had to leave the state to get an abortion after the Texas Supreme Court denied her permission to have one here. The president had a message for Republicans.
Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women, but they found out when reproductive freedom was on the ballot. We won in 2022 and 2020, and we'll win again in 2024. If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
In Texas, no Republican state lawmakers or members of Congress lost after Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022. The president also demanded a ban on assault weapons, a ban on high-capacity magazines, and universal background checks. Jasmine Caceres of Uvalde, whose sister Jackie was killed in the deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary School, was invited by the First Lady to sit in her box at the State of the Union.
With us tonight is Jasmine, whose 9-year-old sister Jackie was murdered with 21 classmates and teachers in an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Very soon after that happened, Jill and I went to Uvalde for a couple of days. We spent hours and hours with each of the families. We heard their message, so everyone in this room, in this chamber, could hear the same message. The constant refrain, and I was there for hours meeting with every family. They said, do something. Do something. Well, I did do something by establishing the first ever Office of Gun Violence Prevention in the White House, that the Vice President is leading the charge. Thank you.
The president also called for raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy and capping prescription drug costs for all Americans. At times tonight, the State of the Union sounded like a campaign rally with Democratic lawmakers applauding and chanting 4 more years. The 81-year-old president trails Mr. Trump in some national polls and in the battleground states. Doug?
And with that, it feels like the general election is well underway now.